Yo, what is up, guys? It's Nick from Begins Gaming. Welcome back to another Mlb Show 22 Diamond Dynasty video. I guess this is my first video because I just recorded my pack opening video. Now I'm recording this video. This is probably going to be the first video I post. So here you go. These are the Mlb Collection Rewards. I'm going to go team by team and just talk about the players. So here we go. For the Baltimore Orioles, you have a gold Darren O'Day. This is probably one of the best gold relievers in the game. Darren O'Day always has a submarine motion. He's got a good pitch mix, slider, four-seam, sinker, changeup. Speed differentials aren't amazing, but he has pretty good control and break for a gold card. And this collection is pretty cheap. I already have all the golds, so this is going to be pretty dirt cheap. You're really only going to have to buy Cedric Mullins. And yeah, so this is a pretty solid day one collection for you budget beasts. The Boston Red Sox, new legend Kevin Youkilis, first baseman, 86, 89, 82, 67 for the hitting stats. He has pretty good defense. He can play first, third, and left. This is a nice first baseman option. Not that expensive of a collection. You only have one diamond. You have some expensive golds though. This is probably going to be around $30K to complete, maybe a little cheaper. If you're looking for a first baseman, I highly recommend this collection. For the New York Yankees, we have a second half Gary Sanchez, and this is going to be pretty pricey. You know, you got Garrett Cole, who's only $40K. Judge is only, okay, that's actually not as expensive as I thought. It's still expensive though. It's probably going to be $90K-ish, maybe a little more. This is definitely a collection that is going to give you a really good catcher. I mean, look at those three stats: contact left, power right, power left. One of the better catchers in the game, day one. And he has silver fielding, base parallel. So this is a nice collection. I would rather you guys take the Joe Mauer from the pre-order bonus though, but definitely a good catcher card. For the Tampa Bay Rays, we have Jose Alvarado, two-seam slider, curveball, four-seam. He has good speed differentials, all right control, pretty good break. Does he have outlier quirk? He does. We still have to see if it really got nerfed, but this is a very good collection. You get a really good reliever. Not only is he a really good diamond reliever, but he's also a lefty. Really like this collection. You only need 4 golds. They're all cheap. Maybe Ronder, no, yeah, they're all cheap. This collection might not even cost you more than $15K, and you get an 85 Jose Alvarado. This is probably going to be one of the best collections to do right now. For the Blue Jays, we have 91 Tom Hankey. He's a reliever. Four-seam, forkball slider, second half card. He does not have outlier quirk. He has pretty solid control and break. This card is pretty good. He's not going to be a terrible reliever. It's just the only problem is that you need Vlad, who's like 80K. It's not worth it for this Tom Hankey. I would much rather get the Rays done and get a reliever who's arguably better. He could honestly be better than this Tom Hankey card. This card is still pretty good. Like, he has a solid pitch mix, but I don't really think it's worth it. For the Chicago White Sox, it's new legend Ray Durham, prime second baseman, switch hitter, good contact, not the best power, pretty solid defense with 90 speed. This is going to be kind of, okay, not that expensive because you got cheap diamonds. Okay, Grandal's kind of expensive, but this is probably going to be around like 50K, 55K, and this card isn't giving me the power that I want, so I would stay away from this collection, but it's a cool new legend to have. For the Cleveland Guardians, I gotta get used to saying that. Postseason Jim Thome, this is a pretty good first baseman. Really good power against righties. That's really good. Never gonna have good defense with a Jim Thome card, but it's a really good hitter. And you got Jose Ramirez, who's a little below 30, and Shane Bieber, who's below 10. So it's a pretty cheap collection, and you get a solid first baseman, so this is definitely a good one. For the Detroit Tigers, we have Goldhound Neuhauser. This card sucks. Don't ever use him. I mean, just do it if you're going to get the collections done. That's the only reason I would ever do this collection. For the Royals, you have Eric Hosmer. I mean, you only really need Salvi, who's like 25K, and Whit Merrifield. But, like, it's really cheap. It's like probably less than 30K, but there are better first baseman collections like the Red Sox. The Red Sox is probably around the same price and a much better card. For the Minnesota Twins, we have new legend Justin Morneau, another first baseman. There are a lot of first basemen so far. This card is not as good as Jim Thome, and it's a little cheaper. How much is Buxton? It's a little cheaper, but it's a worse card. So if you're low on stubs and you need a first baseman, I would go with Morneau. But if you can afford it, I would rather go with Jim Thome or Euclid. The Houston Astros, 92 Cy Young, Dallas Keuchel. This is a great card to have day one. Sinker, slider, changeup, cutter, four seam. That's a great repertoire. Really good control. Okay break. Not the biggest deal right now in day one. For the collection, I mean, these diamonds are pretty cheap. Like, this is a really good collection. It's probably no more than $50K, and you get a really good starting pitcher. This is probably going to be the best collection to do. For the Los Angeles Angels, you have prime Troy Glaus. This card is really good. He's probably going to be one of the best hitters in the game. At 73 contact versus righties is a little annoying, but everything else is really good. He is pretty solid at defense, and you're going to need Trout and Ohtani. And Trout, he's 400 set. Oh my God. Ohtani is 150. I don't think this is worth doing unless you're just going to do it just to get the collections done. I don't think this Troy Glaus is worth it if you have 600K. For the Oakland A's, you have a gold Raleigh Fingers. It's a solid reliever, pretty good gold reliever. I mean, they don't even have a gold card in their collection, so if you need a gold reliever, this is probably going to be a good one. It's probably going to be not even 5K to do. For the Seattle Mariners, we have 85 Edgar Martinez, high contact, pretty much no power, terrible defense. I mean, it's really cheap, but once again, they're better he's not a first baseman, he's a third baseman, but I don't know. I feel like if you want a nice contact guy, this would be the guy, but I'm sure there are going to be more cards that are third baseman that are going to be practically the same price and better. For the Texas Rangers, we have new legend Mike Napoli. Those of you guys who have played MLB The Show 18, this card raked. This card is so freaking good. You guys have to do it. Marcus Semien is less than 20K. This collection is probably around 30K, and you'll have yourselves a pretty damn good catcher. And he's half the price of the probably a third of the price of the Gary Sanchez for the Yankees, and arguably a better hitter with a better swing. This card is really good. For the defending World Series champions, we have this Hank Aaron, all around pretty solid hitter. He doesn't blow you out of the water with anything except for that contact versus lefties. Pretty solid card, but you're going to have to get Acuna, who is 200K, and Matt Olson. I don't really think it's worth it for that price, but, you know, if you pull Acuna and you want to do it, go ahead. For the Marlins, you get a gold Gary Sheffield. I can only really see this guy being a bench option against lefties in the first week of the game. I mean, there are no diamonds to collect. Just this collection doesn't really have any value. For the New York Mets, we have second half Gary Carter. This is a very good catcher. This is definitely a decision to make for you guys if you want to go for him or for Gary Carter or for Joe Mauer. And let me just show you here. I'll show you guys that collection at the end. But Gary Carter, really good catcher card. The contact versus righties is a little low, but I mean, you need DeGrom, you need Scherzer, and you need Marte. This is going to be really expensive, but you know, if you want to go all in for a good catcher, go for it. For the Phillies, we have this Mike Schmidt, and this is a terrible reward. You need Bryce Harper, and you need Zach Wheeler. You basically get a one-dimensional hitter who can only hit lefties. I would stay away from this collection. For the Washington Nationals, another pretty bad card. Does he have outlier? He does not have outlier. The pitch mix could be much better. 4-seam slur, 2-seam circle change. I mean, the control break is alright. The break is good, but the control is alright. You need Juan Soto, who is 50K. I mean, if you pull Juan Soto and you want to do the collection, just get it done. I mean, might as well. But this card, I don't think you guys should be buying Juan Soto just to get that Steven Strasburg. For the Chicago Cubs, we have gold Kyle Hendricks. We don't really know what the pitch mix meta is, but this guy doesn't really have any horizontal movement. Really, really bad velocity too. I mean, there are no gold cards, so I don't really know, man. Do it if you want to, but you're not really going to get that much out of it. For the Cincinnati Reds, this is another one of those just collections where it's just there, like Tony Perez. What are you going to do with this card? I mean, it's a really cheap collection to do, but you're not getting much value out of Tony Perez. The Milwaukee Brewers, I don't really like this Robin Yount card. I've never liked Robin Yount. Good contact, meh fielding, meh speed, not good power, and you need Corbin Burns, who is 30K, Josh Hader, who's 30K, and Woodruff, who's like 10K. And you're not really getting that good of a card, so I wouldn't really do this. For the Pittsburgh Pirates, this might be like an early stage bench option against righties, kind of like the Gary Sheffield, but you only really need Brian Reynolds. And this is another one of those collections that kind of just sits here. For the St. Louis Cardinals, we have Lee Smith, really good reliever, 4-seam slider, cutter, forkball, great pitch mix, pretty good control, pretty solid break. This is a good one. You know, Nolan Arenado is 30K. If you need a good reliever, go for it. It's not going to be that expensive. Just go for it. Lee Smith is always pretty good in this game. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, we have second half Brandon Webb, sinker, curveball, changeup, cutter. Not a terrible pitch mix. He doesn't really have good per nines. He has like mediocre break and control. You only need Ketel Marte, so if you pull Ketel Marte, just go ahead and do it. Get a free diamond pitcher. Not the best diamond pitcher in the game right now, though. For the Rockies, this is another one of those just like collections that are there. Like, you know, I don't really know what you're going to be doing with this card. I guess if you need a base hit against a lefty late in the game, I mean, you only need Chris Bryant. For the LA Dodgers, Kirk, Gibson, this is a very good card. All around, pretty good hitter. Solid speed, solid defense, but it's so expensive. Trey Turner's 100K. Freddie Freeman's 30K. Mookie Betts is 40K. Buehler's 14. You got Muncy, and you have Kershaw. This is really expensive. If you have the stubs to do it, I would recommend it because it's a pretty good card for day one, but it's going to be really expensive. For the Padres, year in and year out, they throw this Tony Gwynn in collections. If it's the AL West or the NL West or the Padres, he always just seems to show up. It's a really good contact hitter. He doesn't have power, great speed, great fielding. I honestly think this guy is more of a bench player because of his speed and his contact. If you just need like a base hit and then he'll run for you, or he'll sub someone out for the field. But you need Tatis, you need Machado. This is just way too expensive for this card. I don't recommend it. The last team is Willie Mccovey for the San Francisco Giants. I guess a good bench bat against righties. I mean, there are no diamonds. You got Carlos Rodon. So you have a sweep. Oh, I thought that was a sweeping curve, but yeah, it's another one of these gold collections. So now that we went over all the team collections, I'm going to be going over all the division collections and then the overall collection rewards. So for the AL East, we have Mike Mussina, 96 overall, only 82 hits per nine. We'll see how that plays. He's a good pitch mix, sinker, four-seam, knuckle curve, cutter, slider. Really good control, really good break. I think this card is going to be good for the first 2 months, and then after that, it's going to be really easy to hit, but if you get it done, it'll be good for you. For the AL Central, I know this is making Fuzzy happy. Grady Sizemore, prime. Pretty good lefty bat. You know, he's not terrible against lefties. He has solid speed. He has solid fielding. It's a nice option. I think this might be the cheapest, either the AL Central or the NL Central. Both the Central divisions are going to be the cheapest divisions to do. For the AL West, we have Michael Young, Signature Series. Nice shortstop. The power is 76. If you get him to parallel 4, it meets the 80 threshold. This is a really good card. You know, he has great defense. He has really good positional flexibility. I actually like this card a lot more than other people will. For the NL East, we have 97 overall prime Chase Utley, 98 defense at second base. He has pretty solid speed. He has pretty solid hitting stats across the board. This is a very good card. For the NL Central, we have Prince Fielder. If you're really trying to get a bang for your buck, do the NL Central. You get Lee Smith. I can't remember the other rewards, you get a Robin Yount. But like, this is probably going to be the cheapest division, and you get a really good first baseman. Prince Fielder, you know, great swing, power guy. If you want him, go get him. For the NL West, we have Kenley Jansen, cutter, slider, sinker. Good control, good break. This card is dirty. This card is really freaking good. But the only problem is that it's the NL West, and it has the Dodgers, has the Padres, and then one more diamond in Ketel Marte. It's going to be expensive, but it's probably the biggest payout because you get this Kirk Gibson for the Dodgers and this Kenley Jansen. Once you collect all the AL cards, you get this 99 overall Frank Thomas. He's going to be a beast. I loved this card last year. Really looking forward to playing with this card. In the NL collection, it's 99 Roberto Clemente. His power is going to play a lot higher in the beginning of the game because per nines are really low. Great defense. He has some speed, max out contact. Really like this card. And then for the MLB collection, they did it. It's Randy Johnson. I don't know why I can't click on his stats. He's got four-seam, slider, slurve, splitter, two-seam. Really good stats across the board. This card is going to be overpowered for the first few months. We don't know if the 105 hits per nine is going to be bad after a few months. We really don't know. But yeah, it's going to be a really good card. So that's it for the live series collections. I'm going to be going over Legends and Flashbacks because the cover athletes collection, 96 Joe Mauer. This is a pretty good catcher card, but this is going to be really expensive because you need all of these cover cards. You need 12 of them, and they're going for like $30K. So this is going to cost you around like $400K. Don't think it's worth it for this card when you can get like a budget catcher like Mike Napoli. I don't think it's worth it yet. It'll be worth it in the future. Here's the collection for rookie cards. It's this Mark Prior card that they keep recycling. It's not that good of a card. You have to collect 10 rookies, and you get a Mark Prior. I feel like these cards for collecting certain series, I think it's cool. But, I mean, like, this card is so bad. This Dave Parker is terrible. This Joe Nathan, he's a pretty good reliever. Then you got Andrelton Simmons, look at those hitting stats. Like, these are just throwaway cards to put here. But, I mean, it's a cool addition because last year we wouldn't get anything. We would just get, like, stubs. So getting cards for that I think is pretty cool. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Begins Gaming. Make sure you guys are following me on all my social medias, YouTube, Twitch, even Twitter. You might as well. And TikTok. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Begins Gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.